line of work, memories don't die. They fester in the dark corners of the city, whispering secrets.
I don't know what you want me to say, man. Told the police everything I know. Patches, he was just there 1 second, and the next, poof.
A fall from grace, a 10-story tumble. But I've got an inkling this wasn't an audition for the Kitty Acrobat show. What aren't you singing, Songbird?
Elgato, I have no clue what you're trying to suggest here.
Well, 3 days ago, I found this flyer in my mailbox with no markings of who it was from. I have my suspicions, though. Check it out.
You see, a cat like Patches doesn't just vanish on the fly without a push or shove. I suspect foul play.
Patches, a name etched in the ledger of the forgotten. A feline soul lost in the symphony of the night. But her story, her fall from grace, it resonates still. I'll unravel this mystery, stitch by stitch, until the tapestry of truth is laid bare. For in this city of shadows, justice is the only light that can pierce the darkness. Come in.
Were you just talking to yourself?
Austin Smith, just the man I've been wanting to see. Come in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
Austin Smith, the man that gives music to the masses. You must have an ear for more than just the melody.
Yeah, I pick up a lot. Music's not just about the notes. It's about the silences in between them.
And these silences, you have ears in places nobody else does in Salt. Tell me, what do you know about Patches?
Why can't you just let dead cats lie, Elgato?
You know, there's this one thing that's always bothered me about the death of Patches. Call it beating a dead horse, but riddle me this. If cats always land flat on their feet, how come Patches' last jump landed her 6 feet under?
Are you suggesting I had something to do with this, Elgato?
I said nothing of the sort.
Mr. Smith, I just care about the truth. And if you care anything about the death of Patches, you would too. Tell me what you know.
I didn't see much that night, Detective. Honest. The band was finishing up their set, and the vibe was more worn out than a mournful blues riff. I went to the green room to grab my guitar, and that's when I saw...
Saw what? Spit it out!
It was Sophie, standing in the doorway staring at nothing. It was like she was lost in thought, or something darker. But it was only for a second. Then she turned and jumped almost when she saw me. She seemed scared. Maybe guilty.
And Andrew?
He wasn't there. He had left the building before I even got my guitar.
Peculiar. Did he say where he was going?
He said he was going to load up the keys. Wasn't usually his job, but I wasn't going to complain. Those things are heavy.
Well, Mr. Smith, I appreciate your time.
And if you remember anything else, you know where to find me.
Sure thing, Detective. But just so we're clear, I had nothing to do with whatever happened to Patches.
Well, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, Mr. Smith. But remember, sometimes those silences between the notes speaks volume. Sophie Christensen, it's good to see you. You mind if I take a seat?
Detective Elgato, what brings you here?
Well, I'd like to talk about Patches.
Patches? I haven't heard that name in a while. What about him?
Well, I've been revisiting this case. There are some loose ends that don't quite add up. Care to tie them up for me?
I don't know what more to tell you. It was a tragic accident, Detective.
Was it? Witnesses say you seemed rather jumpy that night.
I don't remember much from that night. It's all a blur.
A convenient blur, wouldn't you say? What really happened that night?
I told you I don't know! Stop badgering me!
Patches' death was no accident.
I didn't push him!
Then who did? Somebody killed that cat, Sophie. Please, tell me what you know. Help me bring justice to Patches.
Fine. I'll tell you everything.
Matthew 4, 5, John 6, 2.
Mr. Hager!
John.
Mr. Hager!
Oh, Detective Elgato. It's been a while. How have you been?
Cut the small talk, Hager. I'm here to talk about Patches.
Patches? What does he have to do with anything?
You know dang well what I'm talking about, Hager. And you had a part in that cat's demise.
Hold on a minute, you half-baked private eye. Are you accusing me of murder? I didn't lay a finger on that fuzzball.
Listen here. I found something at that scene. Something that ties you directly to the scene of the crime.
A tuna lid? How does that prove anything?
I checked your credit card statements the other day, and you bought the same brand of tuna fish the day Patches died. Now tell me, why was a man out on the street eating tuna fish right after his sermon?
That's just a coincidence.
Coincidence? I think not. I think you were running out of stories to tell at the beginning of each of your sermons.
No.
I think you wanted people to be hooked to the stories of the great Andrew Hager. So when you saw that little tabby cat sitting there on the windowsill, you took your opportunity, grabbed that tuna can, and struck it.
No, I didn't kill that cat for a story. He was asking for it.
Why then, Andrew?
I always hated that cat. I did everybody a favor. Nobody misses it. I took that tuna and lured it out the window.
What about his owner?
He can replace it. It's just a cat.
Lives are not.
I'd like to speak to my attorney.
Save it for the judge, Hager. The boys in blue are already on their way to carry your sorry butt in. It's time to face the music.
Ann Arbor Police! You're under arrest!
Wait, oh my god, real quick. I need to tell my shoot.
Yeah, let him tie his shoe. Look, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney, and...
Dude, what's the other one? What's the other one?
Get him
Johnny-
out of here. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. You know the drill.
They say every man's got his demons, and I reckon mine are no exception. In this city of shadows and secrets, I've seen my fair share of darkness. Patches wasn't just another victim of circumstance. He was the catalyst for everything I've been fighting against. As I stand here, with the weight of guilt purring on my shoulders, I can't help but wonder if justice is truly blind, or if it's been staring me in the face all along, like a cat staring at a can of tuna. The truth is, I've walked the thin line between right and wrong so many times I've lost count. But in a world where the line between good and evil is as blurry as a cat's whiskers, sometimes you've got to scratch beneath the surface to find the truth. So as the credits roll and the city lights flicker, I'll keep chasing shadows and seeking redemption. Because in a city where everyone's got something to hide, the only thing you can count on is the truth. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find it before it's time to wrap up this game of cat and mouse.